Hey guys, Peyton Snakeback here again for another movie review for you guys today. Just got home from seeing Halloween. Um, you know, the brand new Michael Myers movie. Now, this is supposed to be the 11th, like for the whole franchise. This is supposed to be the 11th movie in the 11th installment. But really, it's supposed to be like a part two, like a sequel to the original Halloween, the 1978. And I just want to get, for a few seconds, I just really want to get my mind straight on what I just experienced. Because I just got home few moments ago from seeing this movie in theaters. And just want to say, I was so. I mean, I've been a big fan of this franchise since I was probably six. And I just wanted to say, I was so happy with what they did with this movie. I mean, there was a couple of things I didn't really like, which I'll explain in a sec. But other than what I'm about to say in a sec, I really enjoyed this movie. But but the main thing is this is like I said, this is the sequel. There's no connection to like part two. There's no connection to like part three or H2O or Resurrection. We have to basically just throw them away, crumble those up, and just like trash them because those were pretending that like the remake, right? Maybe the remake exists, but other now like all the other ones were just throw them away. We're pretending that they never existed, that there were nothing. We're just pretending that the original one is the only one that was made, because this is basically. But the plot of this movie is it's 40 years after the events of the first original Halloween movie. It starts off with these two journalists. They're like British journalists. They're investigating like the Michael Myers case with and they end up visiting him. Because they want to like do like they want to interview him because they want to um know about him because ever since the Loomis character died, this new doctor you know is basically caring for him, taking the care for him basically. um but what ends up happening is they really they they also because Michael Myers has not even said a word for like 40 years. But there was a line there that said, "Oh, he can. He just doesn't want to." There was a line that when they said that. But but technically, this is like and if you guys obviously from the trailers, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, she's back in this movie. But basically, it's her. She lives at like this abandoned like house like in the middle of nowhere in the woods. And basically she's traumatized by all the stuff that happened in the first movie. She basically is obsessed with nothing but hoping and praying that Michael Myers will escape, because basically all she wants to do is, if she ever comes across him, she wants to kill him. Basically just end it. And basically one night Michael Myers ends up going to another asylum. He ends up getting transferred to another asylum, and the bus ends up crashing. He ends up escaping, and of course, he gets his mask and he gets his black suit on. And I gotta say, I really loved the gore effects in this movie. I really loved the death scenes in it. I mean, it was really fun. There was some great music in this. I loved how they play that theme song in those speakers. It was really neat. And other thing I want to say too was they did do a couple of references to two of the Halloween movies. They did I don't want to say which ones they were, but if you've seen like part 2 and H2O, they kind of do one reference to H2O and one reference to part 2. And again, I don't want to say what it was because I really don't want to ruin this, because this movie just came out yesterday. So, but yeah, But like I said, I loved the death scenes in this. I loved the gore effects. I really liked, too, that Nick Castle, he was the original Michael Myers. He played, the Shape. I like, too, that he came back to do this role. So that was pretty neat. And John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis, I believe they were, like, executive producers of this. I know Jamie Lee Curtis, because it said, like, in the credits, like, she produces it or something. And John Carpenter, I think, and his son, I think it was Cody Carpenter. I think he directed this, or not directed, but I think he produced it or something. It's really cool that Blumhouse is involved with this movie. Um, but yeah, but like I said, I really loved the gore effects. The kill scenes were great. They were fun. Um, Another thing I wanted to say was, and even though this is actually the sequel to the first one, here's the thing that always kind of bothered me when I watched the trailer. You know what? It's cool that it was like, it was a sequel to the first one. I really kind of wish that they would have, like, explained a little bit about part two, because part two was always my favorite, which the original part two was basically, a continuing sequel to the first one, which is basically, Laurie Strode ends up going into the hospital. Michael Myers is around killing people again. I mean, that one, to me, was always a cool movie. That was always a cool sequel. I wish they would explain a little bit of that, but they didn't, unfortunately. So, like I said, they did a reference for that one, too, but it was never... But again, the only ones that are basically existing is basically this new one and the original one. And, the thing, too, was... And the thing that's been bugging me ever since I got home, or ever since I got out from seeing it, was the ending. I don't know, something about that ending, it just... I don't want to say anything about the ending, but it was... Something about that ending, it just... I don't know, it just felt weird about that ending. Like I said, I'm not going to say what it was, but it just felt weird. I will say, though, I am pretty glad, I'm pretty happy that they were able to, get this iconic character, Michael Myers, back again for, like, one last scare. I really liked how they did that. I can't really think of anything much to say. Oh, by the way, because I saw Cool Duder's review, he did a review last night, and What Movie One's review, they said both said the same thing, that the one kid in the movie, that the one that was being babysat, that he was a really cool character in the movie, and as I was, like, watching the review, I was like, what's so cool about this kid? And I saw the theaters, and they were right. I don't want to, like, give too much detail of these movie about what this movie is, because I really don't want to ruin it. But that kid was great. They were right. I'm not going to say why. I'm not going to say what was cool about him, because I don't want to ruin it. But, yeah. Well, but another thing I like to say is, this is probably, like, a movie that I think that the audience, all these Michael Myers fans, they would be so happy to see. They would be happy and would appreciate this, because this one, I think, is a must-see. Even though there's a couple of things I didn't really like about it, but other than that, though, forget all those things I didn't really like. I did like this movie. I give it a thumbs up. Yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to say about this. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. But I really liked it. Really liked, like I said, that they brought this character back. And it was actually a really good movie to me. Actually, this is probably, like, one of my... Well, it's not my first horror movie. I saw a couple horror movies in theaters. I remember my first horror movie was the, what's it called? Deliver Us from Evil. I know I said I gave it 5 stars, like a couple years ago. Probably the only reason I did that was because it was my first horror movie, and, I got the experience, what it was like seeing my first horror movie. But really, I didn't really like it. I guess I just like the fact, it was my first horror movie. But this one is actually my first, slasher movie to see in theaters. So that was a pretty fun experience to see what was it like to see a slasher movie in theaters. Like a serial killer, like, slicing and dicing. That was actually pretty fun. And also a good experience, by the way, to see my first found footage movie, which was Unfriended, the new Unfriended. But yeah, like I said, I'm glad I got to see this movie. I know I've been praying and hoping to see this movie in theaters, and finally did. But want to say too before I go, there's going to be a DVD. Well, it's going to be an all horror DVD and Blu-ray update tomorrow. I'm going to probably be doing it in the morning because really, because I have a job now. I'm working now. As you could tell, I hadn't been making much videos lately because I'm working. And really, when I just want to come home from work and I just feel like watching movies and go on my iPad, I don't really feel like making videos that much. But I don't worry, I'm still alive. I'm still making videos. I just just kind of been like feeling like doing it because work and all. But yeah, this is going to be an all horror DVD and Blu-ray update tomorrow. There's a lot of titles. I got 22 titles though. I don't want to say what they are, but I just want to say there is a lot. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.